Hey guys, I'm back. So this video, I want to talk about what's going on in Israel from a Protestant's perspective, because I think everybody is now well aware that we're in very much so in World War III, but this is just run-of-the-mill Phoenix blowing itself up as usual. So obviously during the Dark Ages, you had Crusades going to Israel all the time, so that's what this is. It's nothing more. Now, the evangelicals probably want a crusade just as much as the Templars or the Knight Orders. They're all dying for a crusade. So anyway, yeah, like I said, that was context of the Dark Ages, and what was true then is true today. So anyway, now I want to start this with an interesting object lesson, and that was the story of Gideon, where basically when they banged all the pot and pans, the whole kingdom basically just collapsed, right? So within every kingdom, it's the double-headed eagle, all right? You got the left wing and the right wing, or king of the north, king of the south, or Jachin and Boaz, right? Now, historically, the king of the south is Islam. This could be the divide between, obviously, the Western world and the Eastern world, right? So typically it would be, the Islam or communism, Russia, and then King North would be obviously Catholic, Christian, Sunday Christians, all that. So that's how every kingdom is divided. It's just the white and the black squares, right? Both bad. One looks a little bit better than the other on the surface. But anyway, I think we forget what really goes on. And technically, any war after the cross is fake. Okay? Because what? The battle's been won. The war has been won, as Revelation says, right? But then you have all these Christians that say, oh, but we got to go fight a holy war. Not so fast. The war isn't won, right? So they don't really believe what they say. But I think everybody watching this knows that. So anyway, so basically, within Jericho, or in this case, Midian, you have elements of the king of the north and king of the south. Okay, so keep this in mind, guys. What is a world war? It's a great reset, right? It's a jubilee. That's what a jubilee is. It's from, Josephus says, from Jubal. Okay, descendant of Cain. That's where the concept of a jubilee comes from. It's the great reset where wealth is redistributed throughout the land. Of course, after World War II, you had all this wealth come over to America and other countries, right? So that's what the great reset is. And it's the proclamation of a year of liberty. But there's obviously more things going on here, because I got my timelines. If you see my 10 kings reigning with the whore for an hour. Well, as further we go on in history, these more and more seem to be lining up pretty accurately. So I had the fifth trumpet started here. That would be summer of 22. And that would be the bottomless pit opening up. So that would be either Islam or Ukraine, that mess. But then we get to the sixth trumpet, and then you got the 391-day prophecy, and then the 2 weeks of the king's 1 hour is what the king's reign with the whore, but that's 15 days prophetically. Watch my other videos on this if you're still wondering what this is. But basically, it's just the 7 trumpets, 7 seals, 7 plagues, all the 7 churches even you could put here. But anyway, I've got the 1 hour with reigning with a whore at the end, or March of 2024. So about a year from recording this, a little under a year and a half from now. But anyway, and so what's going on though is it's 2 parallel timelines. Now I started my 3.5, the 2 witnesses dead in the streets for 3.5 days. I basically just rehashed the Adventist timeline, but now instead of day for year, it's now day for day, if that makes sense. Okay, so I started that at the coronation of the harlot, or the corona, and that was summer of 2019, okay? So if you read stories, that's really when it kind of came out. But anyway, what's going on is there's 2 parallel timelines going on in the world. You've got 2 sets of 50 clasps dividing the sanctuary from the most holy. Okay, guys? So this is 50 brass clasps, this is 50 gold clasps. It's the difference between a Pentecost, the true Holy Spirit, or the latter rain outpouring, and the false Holy Spirit, or the dirty bird, or the dragon calling fire down from heaven in the sight of man. Revelation 13:13. Again, it's the 2 horns of Jachin and Boaz. Okay, guys? So that's the brass clasps over, that's the difference. So basically, if you've seen my other videos, they're doing their own Day of Atonement. That's known as the phoenix blowing itself up in their lingo. In our lingo, it's known as the children of Israel circling Jericho with the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, both, at the end of the day, it's the same result, right? Like what happens during a big world war? Oh, I don't know, everyone dies, right? So that's basically what this is. And of course, they're the Pied Piper. The news media, Luciferian, secret societies, all of that. What is their main job? Their main job is to play the pipes, the organs, if you will. Okay, guys, that's the musicians on the deck of the Titanic. As the ship goes down, their main job is to keep people, lull them to sleep, right? Make them nice and happy because of course the Titanic, what was that? It was purposely sunk by the Jesuits, right? But what my point is they're the Pied Piper guys. Their main job is to say, oh, they're trying to quell a World War III. But what do we all know, yeah, right. No, this is World War III, right? So, but that's what I'm just saying is, because what? The people of this world, they need to have some type of hope, a worldly hope, because they don't have anything else than this world. Even though they claim to be Christian, their hope is still in this world. So maybe I should re-emphasize that and say Christian nationalism is their prayer, I guess. But we all know what that is. That's just the mark of the beast, right? Oh, something else I want to talk about is, you see me talk about in the image in Daniel 3 was, some Bible commentaries will say an obelisk. Okay, well that's obviously male Sodom and Gomorrah. But guess what, guys? What is the context of the book of Esther? Because there was also kind of a mark of the beast death decree in Esther for the Jews. It was a world war, right? Was it not a world war? It was Xerxes I, who was the king of Esther, or during Esther. Okay, so that was what the movie 300 was based on, right, guys? So he was the one that was going around on these campaigns, and of course, why would the Jews want to fight in a useless war for Xerxes? They didn't care. They didn't have any skin in the game. So what I'm trying to say is a world war is the mark of the beast death decree, if you think about it. Because what happens? If you don't want to fight, guess what? You either get thrown in jail, sent to the gulag, or sent to the front line. Those are your options. And a lot of times it's actually easier to it's probably safer in just joining the military. So being a conscientious objector it's not an easy way out. It's not being a wuss. It's actually much harder. But anyway, I wanted to stress that's why you see, again, every war after the cross is fake. That's why you see war memorials as obelisks, guys. What happened? Because if you read all the histories of war or battle scenes, all these mystical things happening during a war, well, guess what, guys? Again, it's the same thing. It's the dragon calling fire down from heaven in the sight of men, deceiving those who dwell on earth, because they genuinely think they're fighting for they're on a crusade. Both sides, it's a religious conflict. You can't escape that, okay? They don't die for oil. That's stupid. They all know there's a much bigger war going on behind the scenes, and one of their main jobs is to keep people distracted from that. But anyway, so I just wanted to draw emphasis is I'm very much so under the conviction now that, think about the war drums beating, guys. Like, again, the fiddler. Can you not hear the 50 claps, the organ pipes, the jubal, the satyr, guys, the Sasquatches? That's why the Sasquatches are here. It's symbolic of the satyrs. The land is full of satyrs, guys. They're playing the tune. They're playing Jubal's pipes, guys. This is a Day of Atonement, or their false Day of Atonement, their Sunday law. See, it's the same result. It's a parallel timeline. And if you know me, if you've seen my other videos, I believe that, yes, you have in Revelation, you have a day for year. So again, that goes from 538 to 1798 and then 1844. Well, guess what, guys? 1844 was the Day of Atonement. You had all these revolutions going on in the world, and that was the deadly wound. So it was a Jubilee or a, if you want to say, a great reset in 1798, 1844, all that. You see what I'm saying? So then I also think within the book of Revelation, it parallels again. It's a cycle, guys. It's the phoenix blowing itself up cycle. See, they would have said the same thing I'm saying to you 500 years ago during the Dark Ages. They would have understood this, and people say, oh, those idiots, those dumb idiots were wrong. Jesus wasn't coming back then. People have been saying that for, this whole religion, the Christianity's been saying it for 2,000 years, right? But no, guys, it's a cycle. That's what's really going on. And of course, if World War III, I mean, what are your chances of making it out alive? Not very good. So that's kind of what's going on here, guys. Again, a classical Protestant perspective. All wars are fake.